G'day again, welcome back to Dad vs Son, and we're going on with our next mission, campaign, whatever you want to call it. And this is, as I said, will be Guadalcanal, and we're continuing with the US Marines. So this is a skilled one. Yay! So, set up as per everything else. Let's come over here first. Dun, dun, dun. So this is the mission and track. So 42 Marines skilled. Bandits are, we have all of them now. So we have A6s, KI-43s and KI-61s. So life has just got really, really interesting. So we have the Guadalcanal zone here. We have basically the new Georgia zone, and then we have the Bougainville zone. So stress 1, stress 2, stress 3. We have Wildcats, Dauntless and Avengers available to us. Newbie pilots as per usual. No special weapons. Okay. So Battle for Guadalcanal was one of the first offensive campaigns launched by the US in the Pacific. Its goal was to capture and then use a Japanese airfield that was under construction. Once captured, this airfield was renamed Henderson Field, and the Cactus Air Force was born. So we have poor conditions. At the end of each mission, I have to pay 1 SO or roll a die for each aircraft returning from the mission, and on an 8 to 10, inflict 1 extra stress. The beauty of this one, though, is at least that pilots gain plus 1 XP each mission. So if they fly a successful mission, they're going to get 3 XP. I've decided this time we're just going to do the medium. So that gave us 22 SO points to start with. And for adequate, in 7 days, we need minimum of 19 VPs. So as you can see, recon, we get to have a look at 3 targets this time. 1 at a time in case one's a scramble. And intel to start with, plus 2 bandits. Now, because we're playing a medium, I only had 10 aircraft to start with. And because I've only got 22 SO points, and I couldn't take any aircraft that I could get extra points for, it made it a little bit more difficult. Because, yeah, I was thinking of taking maybe 1 or 2 Buffaloes again, and maybe, you know, a couple of other bloody things like blah, blah, blah. What was I thinking of? Devastators. Even, you know, a couple of Devastators just to give me a couple of more points. So even if I didn't fly them, it would have given me the points to beef these up a lot more. So that's what we've got at the moment. Setup over here is exactly the same. Okay, event deck, target deck, turn track, special opportunity targets, sites and bandits, naval sites, bombers, damage markers, and here are our 10 aircraft. So what I've gone for is 4 F4Fs, which is not going to be enough, but that's it. And our friends Casavelli, Wilmarth and Buster Wiggins are back and stayed exactly as they were last time. The only difference is I've taken the Agile off Wiggins and I've given it to Casavelli. Okay. Wilmarth still has his fighter pilot, and we've got Bill Regolo joining us, and he starts with 1 cool and 1 gung-ho, and I've given him focused. So that's our fighters. And then we have our dive bombers, and I've got 4 of them, and we've got Walker, who we had before, and Lewis, who we had before. So Walker comes with his gung-ho as usual, and we've picked up again old Bearcat Davis and Black Shoe Benson, who I'd played with once before. And the only thing I've done is I've given Lewis a +1 gung-ho because he had no gung-ho or anything. And his air to ground is still only 0 with a +1 dive, whereas all the others are at least a +1 with a +1. Lucky last, I brought 2 torpedo bombers, 2 TBF Avengers, mainly because if we get the battleship targets and stuff like that, you know, they take something like 7 hits. That's after we've fought our way through to them. So I thought having a couple of Avengers that can carry torpedoes would be bloody wonderful. So Bill Vanderkeef here, Vanderkeft. So I'll probably just say Bill. Sorry, Bill. It comes with the situational awareness, which is great, but I've given Pete Gardner a quick hands. Okay. I don't know if the girls are like that, but hey, he does. So that's our 10 people. As usual, we'll be sliding backwards and forwards all over the place. So we've got the dogfight track and the dice over there. So looking at our people, as I said, we started with 22 SOs, and I have spent 10 straight up. So as we've got F4Fs, our SBDs, and our TBFs. So as per the startup, we have 1 medium, 2 green, 5 average, 1 skilled, 1 veteran. And at least 1, 2, 3 of the fighters have got a cool, which is better than bloody nothing, that's for sure. And then these are the skills that I've given for the 10 points. So 7 turns, here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Righto. I hope you will let me know where I'm screwing up again still. I hope you enjoy this, and let's hope we can win. Unless you're going for the Japanese, in which case then, yeah, I hope you can win as well. Okay. So first thing, draw target cards. So we can draw up to 3. Then we'll draw the first one, and it's a scramble. So we have to go with it. Okay. I don't think we can draw any other cards because of scramble. I'm just going to check and make sure of that because I don't want to screw up any more than I usually do. Okay, as soon as you draw one of these, stop drawing cards. You must select this card as your day's primary. If there are secondary targets available, you can attack one of them as a secondary. So, no, that's all we get to draw. So it's Assault Troops number 3. Okay, and we have 2 sights in the target area, 2 sights in the approaches, 2 bandits in the target, 1 in each approach, and plus 2 bandits in the guts because of the intel. This is at least a gung-ho mission. Gives us 5 VPs, but we need 6 hits. We can take 6 aircraft. Okay. So let's have a look at our sights first and see what we get. Okay, and I've got to remember, don't throw the KIs away this time. Okay, so 2 sights in this approach, 2 sights in this approach, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. Okay, so let's have a look. We have a rifleman, and we have a rifleman. I love riflemen. I do. And we have a rifleman, and we have a rifleman, and we have, a 75 and rifleman. So that's a worry. And then we have a rifleman, and we have no sight, which is great. So that can go back in there. And then we have rifleman and a heavy machine gun. Okay. So the only range 1 weapon we have is the 75mm. So we don't want to approach from west, south, or east at the moment. We want to come in here. Okay. And then the only time it can hit us is when we get into here, rather than being able to hit us in the approach and then in the guts. Right, so that's that bit done. Determine and place sites is done. Assign pilots. Okay. So we need 6 hits in here. So dive bombers are going to be the bestest. That's for sure. And I've got 3 dive bombers, all with a gung-ho. And this is a gung-ho target, so they're probably the best ones to use. Where's this target first? Hang on, number 3. Oh, that's fine. It's on Guadalcanal itself. So it's a stress 1. Oh, sorry, got the yawns. Okay. So we're going to take Lewis with his gung-ho. We're going to take Bearcat with his gung-ho. We're going to take Walker with his gung-ho. Are we going to take Benson? He doesn't have a gung-ho. Will 3 bombers be enough? Now, if they take a 1,000-pounder, realistically, if they all get through to the target, we could effectively get, with the gung-hos, if they survive, 9 hits. We need 6. So the other thing I was thinking was, do we want to take maybe one of the TBFs? It could come in low, and it could... Does it really matter? Well, if I bring Vanderkeef in, then he could always bomb, say, the 75 mil gun and get rid of it. Okay, because he can carry up to 1,000 pounds as well. So, because he has the situational awareness, that'll let him get in and do that first. And that leaves me 1 dive bomber who hasn't gone, and that leaves me 1 torpedo bomber that hasn't gone. Is that a fair go? And I don't know. It's the amount of bandits that's got me worried, because effectively we could have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could have up to 8 bandits, and I've only got 4 fighters to start with. Okay, yep, we're going to take Vanderkeef. He'll come in low. Everybody else will come in high. That means he's going to take the hits from these guys, but I can't do much about that. Okay, so let's set these up first so we can take 6. Oh, that means I can only take 2 fighters. Yuck. No. Vanderkeef, you're safe. I was thinking 8 for some reason, but yeah. I can take 6. Do I take 2 bombers and 4 fighters? Or do I take 3 bombers and 3 fighters? Bum, bum, bum. I think I've got to take 3 bombers just in case I lose them. Okay, so I'm going to take Regallo. He's got focused and a gung-ho. He's a 0. No, I can't afford to put him out there at the moment. Okay, Casavelli, because he's agile and he has situational awareness and he has a gung-ho. Righto, so we got Lewis with his gung-ho. We have Bearcat with his gung-ho. Okay, so Bearcat and Lewis are going in high. Sorry. And Walker is going in high because they're all dive bombers. Right, so there's our bombers. And then fighter-wise, like I said, we've got Wiggins here, who has a gung-ho, situational awareness, and is agile. We have... Why have I grabbed Wiggins? I've got Casavelli and Wiggins, bloody stupid markers around the wrong way. So, sorry, Wiggins has a gung-ho. And Casavelli, like I said before, has got all that crap. Okay, and then we'll take we are going to take Will Marth because he has 2 gung-hos and fighter pilot. Fighter pilot only gives him a +1 air-to-air anyways, because he has a 0 air-to-air at the moment. Even though he is skilled, he's just not that skilled. Okay, so that's how it looks. And then we bomb them up. So the 3 bombers are going to carry a 1,000-pounder each. I'm just going to put it there. Well, I'll put it down where I've been putting it. Okay. Do I want to do that? No, I don't. I'm going to put a 1,000-pounder on, let me get this right. Lewis is a +1 only to drop. Bearcat Davis is a +4 to drop. So I'm going to give him a 1,000-pounder. And Walker is a +2 to drop. So I'm going to give him a 1,000-pounder. And I'm going to give Lewis 2 500-pounders. And why, you may ask? And the reason is that if I don't need to drop these bombs, I shan't. But then I'll have 2 points worth of munitions that I can use if I've got to do SAR rolls and stuff. Okay, so I might be a little bit negative, but that's what I'm thinking of at the moment. Okay, right, so everybody is coming in high, so I don't need to worry about these guys. And that's that. Right, target bound event card. Dun, dun, dun. Keep this card when a pilot suffers a missing in action. Instead, return the pilot to your squadron with +2 stress. Well, that's good. That's a get out of the water free card. Just don't pass go or collect $200. Okay. Determine and place bandits. Okay, so 1 for each approach to start with. So we have 1, 1, 1, and 1. So we'll just check them. We have a no bandit. We have a KI-43. Legendary! We have a no bandit. And we have a KI-43 average. So that's those 2 bandits. I'll just leave them out. And then we have 2 in the middle to start with. And we have a KI-43 greenie. And we have an average 0. And then we have the +2 bandits. And we have a no bandit. And we have another KI-43 average bugger. So we ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I've got 3. And they're all in range of us right from the start. That's even better, isn't it? This is gonna be messy. Yes, it is. Okay. Intel. So that was our adjustment for the extra 2. Over target event card. For every 2 SO points you spend, remove 2 sites of your choice. Well, I've got to do it. So I'm going to spend 2 SOs. It takes us up to 12. And I am going to remove this heavy machine gun and this 75mm. They're gone. And that was it. 2 for 2. Yep, that's it. Everything else is a rifle, which only gives stress and is only low. Okay. So we are flying with Casavelli, Wigan, and Wilmarth. And we are flying with Lewis, Davis, and Walker. Okay. Lewis, Davis, and Walker. No. Ripper reader. Okay. That's done. Turn counters in the 1 box, and we are good to go. Okay, dive bombers. Dive to low. No. Fast pilots attack. Nope. Sights and bandits attack. Nope. Slow pilots attack. Nope. Aircraft move. I'm just going to bring Casavelli over here with the other fighters. Right. Your berms can go behind you. And your berm can go behind you. And your berm can go behind you. Like that. Okay. Righto. And then bandits move. So we've got 1, 2 of them average, 1 green, 1 0, 1 legendary. Okay. So, Mr. Legendary, out of my fighters, I suppose, realistically, Casavelli is the best because he has situational awareness, a gung-ho, and agile. So he's got a chance of surviving. Maybe not much of a chance, but he's got a chance. The beauty is that the KI-43s actually aren't quite as good as the Zeros, so I don't mind getting them now. Righto, so the next is we have 3 averages. So the averages need to go to pilots. So I'm going to give the 0 to Wilmarth, simply because he has 2 gung-hos. Is that a good smart thing to do? Or do I want to give it to Wiggins because he's got a +2? Nope, that'll do. And this KI-43 will go to Wiggins. And then I've got 2 others, a green and an average. Okay, so Lewis is a -2 with a gung-ho. Bearcat is a -2 with no gung-ho. Yeah, he has one gung-ho. And Walker is a +0. Okay, so Walker is going to get one. And I think Bearcat. No, Lewis. Okay, so that's we are. Advance the turn counter. Righto. Dive bombers dive. No, everybody's staying high. Fast pilots attack. So we only have the one fast pilot, and that is Casabelli, who's going to use his attack. Okay, so let's go over here and do our usuals. Righto, so friendly manoeuvre success. So the usual thing, we're going to go for an in my sights. It's just the best thing to go for, realistically. It's great if you can get tailing and advantaged and all that sort of poo, but it doesn't really help a great deal. Okay, so Casabelli is going for in my sights. He is a... I think he was +1 because he... No, he's not +1. He's a 0 because he is agile. That's right. So he is a 0 against a +3. So he is a die 10 -3. Yay! Here we go. 4 - 3 is a 1, so that would be -1 position. Do I gung-ho that to maintain my position and then try and survive his attack with an agile and then try and shoot him? I can't shoot him. I can't shoot him without the gung-ho. That's the whole thing. So, no, we just missed. That's all. Okay, so here's situational awareness has gone away. Right. So they attack us then. So I suppose we'll do the legendary against Casabelli to start with. So he is in a neutral position, +3. He gets a 1 + 3 is 4, which is no effect. Thank God for that. Righto, so the success is again +3. Sorry, he's in a tight turn. Is a +3. And Casabelli is a 0, that's right. So +3. 2 + 3 is 5. So a 5 is no effect. That's it. So he's shooting for +3, and we are agile, so we get to use 2 die. And we have a 5. Yay! 5 + 3 is 8. I don't like that. No. So we have to use our gung-ho. So Casabelli has used his gung-ho. He is now a target, even more so than he was before. Okay, next we have the average 0 against Wilmarth. So the 0 is going for a +1 to his manoeuvre, and that's a 9. So a 9 in neutral is an in my sights, and he is a +1 -1 because our fighter pilot skill. So it's a 1, which is -1 position. So he is actually being disadvantaged. I like it. I like it a lot. Next one is the average KI 43 against Wiggins. So he is a +1. Wiggins is a +2. So we've got +1 to start with, which is a 10, which gives him out of the sun. And then he has a -1 for this roll, which is a 2, which is -2 positions. Yay! So Wiggins has actually got onto his tail. Next, we have Walker and a KI-43. So this will be a +1 for manoeuvre to start with. And he gets an 8 + 1 is a 9, which is, again, an in my sights. Now, the success of this is +1 for him, and Walker is a 0, so it's just a +1. He gets a 5, which is +1 attack. So his attack is at +2. Okay. I have nobody who is not engaged to do suppression. And I believe, look, I could be wrong again, I don't know, but I believe you have to be free to do suppression. I don't know if you can do it while you're in a dogfight yourself. It seems a bit silly. So, does he want to Walker 0 to 3 for stress? Okay. This bloke hits on a 6, 8, 9, and he's a +1. So it means he's going to damage us on a 7, kill us on an 8. Okay, we're going to take 2 stress, and we are going to evade. I think it's 2 stress for evasion. I don't think it changes, does it? If we do stress on the... Yep. Well, I suppose suppression says any one aircraft may attack the site or bandit. So we're going to actually try that first. Stuff it. So Wiggins is going to try and suppress it. So he will take 1 for trying to suppress. And he will do it for a in my sights. And it is a +1 for him because he's +2. Yeah. Okay. So he's going for a +1. He gets an 8, so he has suppressed it. Good. And then we have the green one, which is a 0 going for Lewis. So position for the greenie is an 8, which is a half loop. And then the success is 8. And we are -2, so it's a +2. 6 + 2 is 8, is +2 position. So we are being tailed. And Wiggins is going to take another stress to try and suppress. So his will be a +2. Again, it's a neutral hit. And he gets a 6 + 2 is 8, so the attack is stopped. Beautiful. Okay, so then it is our turn. So Casabelli, he needs to get on this bloke's tail. That's the only way he can offset his 3+. So we're neutral at the moment. So if we do a half loop and can we get it? Where's 0? He is a +3, which means we cannot get a 9. If we get a 10, we get a 7. If we get a 9, we get a 6. So we can get it, but we've got to get a 9. That's not real flash, is it? If I do an in my sights, the most I can get again would be a +1 attack, which means I'd still be rolling for -2, which means I would still have to get a 10 to hit him then. What am I gonna do? What am I going to do? So I suppose realistically my safest bet is to go for a tight turn. I may pick up 1 position, and I might pick up, that's the best I can get, is 1 position. And if I pick up 1 position, that gives me 1 attack, which is the same as in my sights, isn't it? The only good thing is that I don't lose anything if I don't get it, because it's a non-event. So we're just going to go for a tight turn. Okay, so this is on -3 for the tight turn. And we get a 5 minus 3 is 2, so we're exactly where we are. And he's a +3 and I'm a 0, so the best I can do is a 7, which means I can't hit him, so I'm not even going to bother. Right, Wilmarth. Wilmarth is a +1 for his fighter pilot against a +1, 0. So he is going for an in my sights, and this is a just the roll, and he gets a 2, which is -1 position. So we are now neutral to each other. Okay, so this is again a straight roll. We need an 8 to hit. And we get a 4, so we are going to use a gung-ho. That's Wilmarth's first gung-ho, and that 0 is destroyed. Wilmarth gets a kill. Yay! Now, I haven't carried their kills over or anything like that. I don't think that was fair. Next, then, we have Wiggins tailing the average +1 KI. So he's going to go for an in my sights. So it is a +1 to this roll. And that's a 2, which is -1 position. So he is now advantaged. So it is +2 to his roll to shoot. He gets a 6, +2 is 8, and that KI is shot down. 1 to Wiggins. Rightio. Next is Walker. Dun dun dun. Who can't shoot? And Lewis, who is being tailed. So he can shoot. It's at a -2, and he needs a 9, which means he's not going to do it unless he uses his gung-ho to do it, but he is being tailed. So I don't see why he couldn't shoot if he wanted to. So we're going to. He's going to shoot. Can he hit? He's being tailed for a 0, which means it's -3 to his roll. Plus, he's -2 is a 5. So no, he can't, but he could gung-ho it. Yes, he will. He is going to gung-ho it. Well done, Lewis. You just shot down a KI 43. Not part of your job description, really, but hey, you deserve it. Right. So that's Sights and Bandits have attacked. Let's come back over. So aircraft move again. Oh, yeah, this one is still there. This one disengages because it was on a bomber. I'm going to engage this guy now with a Wiggins. Seeing as it was neutral, I don't see why I can't. Well, no. Yeah, I need somebody, that's for sure. Okay. And I'm going to keep this guy here with Casabelli. It's dangerous, but at least he's got agile. And I'll leave him there to have a go if he needs to. Yeah. Okay, and that means that Walker comes in here with his gung-ho. Bearcat comes in with his gung-ho. And Lewis comes in like that. And we become turn 3, fast pilots attack. Okay. Dive bombers dive to low first. So this dive bomber is going down. This dive bomber is going down. And Lewis is going to stay high. He is not going to bomb. He's there, again, like I said, to just give us some points. And this means, you know, he still picks up experience for the mission. So that's that. Righto. So fast pilots attack. There are no fast pilots. Sights and bandits attack. So we have these bandits that are attacking. This is the only sight that it can attack, and he can fight either Bearcat or Walker. So 1 through 5, 6 through 10, and he is going after Walker. It was a 7, so there we go. So we'll do the fighters first. So let's come back over here. Okay, so the first one is the average KI against Casabelli. So it's a +1 in a neutral position. Casabelli is, 0. So it's a +1. And he gets 6 + 1, which is a yo-yo. And then he has a +1 for his maneuver success. And gets a 3 + 1 is 4, which is -1 attack. And then his attack is then straight up with no extras. And Casabelli has agile, so rolls 2. So he needs a 6, 8, 9. And we've rolled a 1 and a 3, so there is nothing there. Righto, next we have the Legendary against Wigan. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to get Wilmarth to try and suppress it. He'll take 1, and that will be, Wilmarth is a, oh, hang on, can he do that? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Wilmarth will use his gung-ho to suppress. So it has been suppressed. I know that's a strange thing to do, but I think it's worthwhile. Okay, so then it's the sight against Walker, and it's only infantry, and it gets a 5, and it needed the 6 to do anything. So then it's our turn. So Casabelli is going to go for a in my sights, and he is a 0, to a +1. So he's a -1 for his maneuver, which is a 6 minus 1 is 5. He has +1 attack, which means that he's now a 0 for his attack. So he needs an 8 or better to kill. Oops, wrong one. Damn, it was a 9. No, only 7. Okay, so that's no good. And now Wigan is shooting at the legendary. So he wants an in my sights. And this is for a -1. He gets a 1. Holy shit. And he loses 1 position. Oh well, he loses 1 position. Right, so Wilmarth then is going to fire. It's a neutral, so Wilmarth will get a fighter pilot, so he can get a +1. He's a +3, so yeah, he needs a 10 to shoot him down. No. Okay, so we need to bomb this target and get away, and then we're all good to go. So let's come over here and bomb my target. Right, so the first person to burn is going to be Walker. And Walker is a +1 air to ground, +1 dive, so that's +2.